There are cultural influences on personality. The definition of culture refers to a program of shared rules that govern the behavior of members of a community or society, and a set of values, beliefs, and attitudes shared by most members of that community. There are different cultures in the Eastern and Western worlds. In the Western culture, the individualism is more frequently observed. People living in the individualistic culture cherish the exercise of one's goals and desires. Furthermore, they value independence and autonomy. Whereas in the Eastern culture, the collectivism is more easily observed. People living in the Eastern culture emphasize the interdependency of every human being. Furthermore, they place higher priority of group goals than individual goals. To a further extent, these two cultures show a very different concept of self. In the individualist cultures, the concept of self is regarded as autonomous, linked with individual goals, and most of the time wishes a prize above duty and relations with others. In contrast, the collectivist cultures have a very different concept of self. In these cultures, self is regarded as embedded in relationships. And also, the harmony with one's group is prized above individual goals and wishes. Now think about the movies you watch from the Eastern or Western worlds. See if you can observe the differences, especially amongst those movies with soldiers, wars, countries. Can you observe the difference? Lastly, we have to understand how we evaluate the cultural influences on personality. There are a few things we need to consider. First of all, we have to understand if we have oversimplified the cultural differences on personality. Secondly, whether we have stereotyped people by their cultures. While these two aspects are difficult to avoid, but we have to understand the impact. At the same time, we have to ask ourselves if we have ignored a lot of other factors. These include individual difference, and probably the difference in the reinforcement history. These are the questions we have to ask while we are trying to understand the cultural influences on personality.